Live from the City of Angels, you are watching Midnight Movie Talk, the Sunday evening spectacular. And as we've been doing on these Sunday night shows since we started the Breaking Box Office show, we are focusing less on the box office and more on big picture ideas here on this Sunday night. And this is a biggest pictures we've ever had on this show. I would suggest to you, as I ask you, is Netflix destroying Hollywood? Now, let me explain that, and then you guys come in with the comments, and we will go from there. Here is my output that I'm going to put to you, and I want you guys to tell me what you think. Here we go. When Netflix arrived in Hollywood, they created, as you know, a brand new studio, a new outlet for directors to go to with their films and to get their projects made, right? Writers, directors now have a new place they can get their stuff shown and get it produced. That sounds good. And in theory, it is, right? People are working. Of course, that's a great thing, especially in this economy where a lot of people are struggling. We just saw the strikes, all of that. That's not what we're talking about. Of course, that's the good thing. The problem is what Netflix has now started to do over the past several years, I'd argue pretty much since the inception, with very few exceptions, we are looking at very mediocre output. They have become a studio that you go to when you can't get that film made by any other studio. Everyone else turned it down. Warner Brothers, no. Paramount, no. Sony, no. Universal, no thank you. Disney, nope. Netflix. Yeah, we'll do it because we've talked about it before so often. Scott Stuber, head of the film studio, does not clearly display any ability to sift through these projects and say, we're not going to take this. We're going to say no, right? The general rule in life, say no more than yes, especially when it's a creative thing, because you can't say everything's good unless you're a show of the week. And then, of course, yes, everything's tremendous, masterpiece, all that shit. But when you are running a studio, I would much rather produce high quality output than to have stuff that Netflix is putting out. And there are two films we're going to talk about tonight. The main one, and the reason I am here discussing this tonight, is I made my way down to the Egyptian, which is Netflix's all new renovated historic theater here in LA that they have outfitted to show their films, even if they don't have a theatrical component that is meaningful to any of us outside of the major cities. You can, if you're in LA, you can go to the Egyptian, as I did yesterday. I want to explain something because a lot of people are going to come in here and say, you said no theatrical, no Netflix. I still stand by that. I am only doing this as research. Do I think that we should support Netflix? No. Did I yesterday? Yes. I'm not going to lie to you. Of course I did, because I want to talk about Rebel Moon, because this is exactly what I feared it would be. So that's why I went. It is for intel to bring back here to MMT and to use the information. So don't come after me saying you broke your rule. You went. Yes, I did, but it was for a very good reason. There I am getting ready to go in. I had my sunglasses on because everyone, if they see, honestly, God, listen, this is the truth. And this is, everybody knows this. Netflix and every other studio is very aware of who I am. I'm not saying, that's not something I'm saying like, oh, I'm proud of that. That's the reason I do it. No. It's because they know that I am the most, no one is even close, outspoken film voice in this space. There is no one in this town that even touches me. It's not even a contest. There is me, 1,000 feet of crap, and then whoever's next. That's it, right? Moneyball again. Thank you. Give me a like. I'm the only one. And they all know, when I say it, I mean it. I am authentic, and I don't bullshit around. I don't have time for it. There I am with my poster. Look at the poster. Doesn't it look just like heavy metal? This entire film is a rip of every other fantasy sci-fi film you've seen in your life, starting with, obviously, Star Wars. And really, when you look at Rogue One. Okay, let's talk about Rebel Moon. because I know I have my reaction video and the Snyder boys are coming after me. And the funny thing, as I get into this, okay, so as we talk about Rebel Moon here and Netflix and them destroying Hollywood, and let me just say this so that it can get it started. The reason they're destroying Hollywood is they are giving life to projects that should never have been greenlit. Rebel Moon should never have been made, ever. Why do you think Warner Brothers is not working with Zack Snyder anymore? Do you have an idea? Do you have a clue? Let me tell you why. Because they look at the script for Rebel Moon, I will pass. That's what's happening. Everyone who has a script that the studios don't want, they go to Netflix. Because Netflix will say, go ahead. We don't care. Here's your money. Did you see the story about the guy who got, like, whatever the budget was? It was tens of millions of dollars. And he blew it all? They're like, where's the money? Oh, I blew it. Like, they have no control. How do people at Netflix have jobs? But let's get back to Rebel Moon. This film should never exist. Oh, I know I'm pissing off the Snyder boys. I don't care. Because reality is reality. And when you watch Rebel Moon, you watch a film, there's no reason for it to exist. Zero. Nothing. Why am I in this theater watching this? Because I've seen this film in 100 other films before. This is me after the movie, and this is what was fun last night, I got to say. Here's me celebrating the end of the movie, and then me realizing this is part one of the movie. I did it again. I got him again. But let me show you something. So instantly, here come the Snyder bros. Oh, you hate everything by Zack Snyder, the God himself. Oh, yeah? Let's read this tweet that I pulled out. And then they all go, oh, shit. We're messing with Weber. He's fair. He's objective. He doesn't have any biases. Oh, we're screwed. This is my reaction to Zack Snyder's Justice League. No question. ZSJL is one hell of a lot better movie than the average for the average viewer, but this is a dramatic improvement over what we got the first time around. Snyder's artistic flourishes elevate this superhero epic to essential viewing status. Hardcore fans going to go bonkers. That's pretty glowing for a 4-hour movie. That's really glowing, right? That was sent back in whatever that was. Was it 2021? So instantly, all the Snyder bros are like, oh, shit. I had a guy like retweet me and go, this guy. And then, yeah, what do I do now? What do I do? What do I do when he just praised Zack Snyder? What do I do now? He's proven he likes I Like 300. Sucker Punch, sort of. Watchmen, for sure. But Army of the Dead's horrible. Oh, my God. I turned it off. I didn't even finish that film. I'm not going to lie. I can't tell you I finished it. I try to finish everything. I started Army of Dead, and I said, no. Zack Snyder is over. Zack Snyder is irrelevant. We don't need this crap being made anymore. There is no reason for this film to exist. Zero. The only reason that Rebel Moon exists is because of Netflix. And what is Netflix doing? Destroying Hollywood by making movies like Rebel Moon, a movie that should never have been made. Here are the positives for Rebel Moon. Charlie Hunnam. That's it. One person. I'm not going to fib. I have to tell you again, as always, everything that comes through the mic is 100% accurate to me. And usually 100% accurate, period. Charlie Hunnam is dreamy. I mean, my God, Charlie Hunnam. I mean, if you aren't, he just shows up and you're like, Charlie Hunnam, my God, that guy's a God. I want to be Charlie Hunnam. I don't want to be many people, but I do want to be Charlie Hunnam. I mean, he is just that guy. That guy is everything. He needs to be a bigger star. I want to see him become the next Brad Pitt. Can we make that happen? He's the only thing that's interesting here. Without giving the movie away, that's all I'm going to say. It's very hard for me to stop. That's it. Charlie Hunnam. Everything else is terrible outside of Charlie Hunnam. The acting. Oh, my God. The lead, wooden. The Diego Luna wannabe / Zack Snyder lookalike. I was watching the movie. I'm like, is this Zack Snyder in the movie? Why did he cast a guy that looks just like himself as the he? Oh, I think I know why. That guy's not a good actor. And then you also have, okay, so here's the situation. Let me just tell you why the film should never have been made. Because it is a virtual retelling of Rogue One with some elements of Avatar. You guys know how much Avatar, I don't even want to ever see another Avatar movie. And yet here I am having to watch one of the characters being assembled for the ragtag group of rebels to take down the Nazi Empire. We're going to ride a griffin just like in Avatar or in How to Train Your Dragon or any movie where someone has to tame the wild beast and prove that they are capable of being part of the ragtag diverse group of rebels who are going to take down the Nazi Empire. Yes, these are Nazis. These are Nazis. Literally, why didn't they just put the swastika on these guys? That's what they should have done. Zack Snyder, you made a mistake. Next time, just throw the swastika on the outfit, and then you'll be more accurate in what you're trying to do here. But the screenplay is 0% original, and you're going to tell me, well, look at all these other films that are derivative of other films. Well, the problem is this is derivative of film. They're classic films, not Avatar. Like, that movie is one of the most overrated ever. But when you talk about a Star Wars, whether it's based on Dune or whatever you want to say, you're talking about Star Wars. Why would we ever make another movie that's even tangential to Star Wars? You already have Star Wars. We had Battlestar Galactica. Look how that turned out. We don't need another Star Wars. But yet, here comes Zack Snyder, clearly frustrated that he wasn't chosen to direct a Star Wars movie, and I'll make one that's tangentially terrible to it. Here's the thing. Is the movie unwatchable? No. Is it completely hacked up with the edits because it is the PG-13 version versus the R? Why didn't they just release the R version? Why, Netflix? Why didn't you show me the violence? What's the point? You're not even putting it in theaters. Like, make it make sense to me so that parents will let their kids watch this crap film and then they think this is good filmmaking. And also, let's talk about Zack Snyder. We'll get back to the screenplay, which is completely and utterly snooze fest regurgitation of everything we've seen before in cinema. When you look at putting a film together and you are in charge of, and you're at Netflix and you're in charge of looking at scripts and you're reading the script and you're like, hold on for a second. This sounds exactly like every other movie I've seen before that is a fantasy. Keep saying fantasy. Thank you so much. Fantasy sci-fi film. Why are we doing this? I mean, we already had Crawl, for God's sake. Crawl is more interesting than this film. That's pretty damning right there. Well, I know this for sure. The Crawl video game, the arcade game, way better than Rebel Moon. Just that alone. Scaling the mountain, throwing the knife star thing. Is that the Crawl? Is that the name? I don't, it's been so long, man. I saw a movie, I was like really small. But listen, that video game's better than Rebel Moon. Why are we making these movies? Help me out, okay? And the runtime is 2 hours and 15 minutes. And it's part 1 of 2. I had a miserable time watching this movie, although 60% is not as bad as you would think, because it's a D for me. It's a D minus. But this movie should never exist. It is no reason it should ever exist. Zero reason this film exists. The only reason it exists is because of Netflix, because Netflix says yes to everything. They have no creative controls whatsoever. And let's get back to Zack, because I know I hammered him for a second. I'm going to continue. Zack Snyder, you need to stop making the same movie. Okay, I get it. You like the slow-mo action shit. We've seen it. It's iconic. 300's iconic, okay? Right? When he's going with the spear, we have that happening here. She jumps onto the spaceship, or whichever. Someone jumps on a spaceship. I think it's the dude who sacrifices himself for the mission. At this point, it doesn't matter because you see it all coming. If I told you the movie, you'd be like, I already know this. Of course you do. Everything's already laid out in front of you. Oh my God, there's a whole thing with a droid that's AI droid that's totally ripped from Rogue One. This is bad. The more I think about it, I'm going to lower the score throughout the night. Forget 60. We're going to go lower on Rebel Moon. These are the kind of films that should never be made ever again. And Netflix, you're a scourge on planet Earth. You are a scourge making these films. So the answer is, without any comments from you guys, yes, Netflix is destroying Hollywood. For that very reason, they're making crappy movies over and over and over. Yes, yes, yes. Let's make this crap and this garbage and this and Rebel Moon, a movie that should not exist. God almighty. Bring it, Snyder boys. Bring it. You tell me what's original about this. Also, can we talk about something else that's tangential? It's 100% not even tangential. It is 100% on target with what we're talking about. When you look at Zack Snyder, why are people, I need someone to explain this to me. Please help me. Please, please, please. Why are people so tribal? Why are you some kind of freak who likes Zack Snyder movies and defend everything this man does? Do you guys not start with every movie by whoever it is and say it's a new film, let's start again, we're at zero? We are not going to play this game of Zack Snyder's a hero, he's a god, he can make nothing wrong. There's something, I'm going to just be as direct as I can. There's something wrong with you if you think like that. There's something missing in your life if you watch a Zack Snyder movie and go, I'm going to devote my life to Zack Snyder. There's something wrong. That's not normal behavior. That's weird. You need to get a hobby outside of Zack Snyder. I don't know how else to put it. You've got to do it. You've got to figure out a way to break the Zack Snyder cult and get into... I didn't even expect to go here tonight. This is exactly what this channel is. I never know what we're going to do. And then all of a sudden I just feel it and I go, let's go. Let's lay it on. Let's bring it. You can't be a cult member. Don't be a cult member of anybody, of anything. Always be your own individual thinker. It does not make you remarkable to put on your thing, Zack Snyder, associate producer. I'm sorry. It just, if it's fine, if you like it, you want to do it, it's cool. But that can't be your whole identity, man. It just can't. Even though my identity right now is I hate Poor Things. I'm not going to lie to you. Right? But that's like a joke. I hate the movie. But it's not like, that's my identity, Mr. I hate Poor Things. I mean, right now it is. The next movie that's terrible, I'll do that. Rebel Moon's not as bad. Listen, okay. Rebel Moon's not nearly as bad as Poor Things, which is crazy. That shows you how bad Poor Things is, because I was so bored watching this film yesterday. All right, comment time. Come in with the super chats, and I don't care who it is. If you want to come in and you can bring in anything, I will use it. Just be civil. I know I just said if you're a Zack Snyder associate producer, you need to get a hobby. But guys, come on, guys. We're talking about movies and things. Can we just kind of just have some fun It's weird, man. It's weird. It's not just Zack Snyder shills. It's everyone shills. Why are people so tribal? Why are people so weird about, I have my favorite star? I think it's weird that people sit around and tweet updates on a certain star all day. Like, there's accounts on Twitter. Here's the latest from Florence Pugh. Florence Pugh updates. Robert Pattinson updates. Zendaya updates. Timothy Chalamet update. What? You guys, it's fine as a side hobby, but that can't be your existence in life. It shouldn't be. It just shouldn't. You need to get a hobby that's better than updating Robert Pattinson updates. You just have to. I don't know how it happens. I do devote my entire life to Tar, but it's not, I love Tar, but I'm not going to the next Todd Field movie, I'm not going to say is a masterpiece unless it is. I mean, I don't understand this shit. It's really weird. I would agree with this too, Satvik. Snyder's much better visual director than he is screenwriter. Now, he did not write this entirely, right? I'm not going to tell you that I actually didn't even look. I assume he had something. Tell me he didn't just write this by himself. Tell me he had someone that helped him and he just sort of helped, because I would not want to put my name on this because of the fact that it is so unremarkable and so unnecessary to make. Oh my God, the next one's called The Scar Giver. Oh, I bet you it's 3 hours long. Writers, Shay, Kurt, and Zach. There's 3 writers on this. What else have they done? I don't even care what they've done. This movie's just pointless. There's no reason for it to exist. I'm sorry. Donald, because you know why? Let me tell you why. Because the style, you have to adapt. You can't just keep doing the same thing over and over. If you go back and look at this channel from the beginning to now, it's changed. It's not the same channel. I think the show's different every night. I mean, sometimes I'm on a wild rampage railing against something, and the next day I'm just like, yeah. I mean, I understand that you're going to have a traditional like feel to your film, but I ask you as an artist, anyone who's an artist, anyone who is in any endeavor, don't you venture to push the boundaries of where you've been before and maybe try something different, even if it doesn't work? At least I'd love to see a Zack Snyder grounded drama. Just try it. He's got the stroke to do it. So at this point, why are we wasting all this time on these forgettable CGI regurgitative films that we've seen from him? And certainly this one is obviously right standing in front of us here. You're going to see it on Friday. Do something different. Haven't you already proven yourself with Watchmen 300? You obviously have, and then look at what he did with Justice League when he got his cut. You've done that. We've done these things. Now I want to see him do something different. And is that too much to ask? To ask of someone to like maybe not give me the same thing every time, right? Even a good musical artist changed. Taylor Swift. You guys, I know a lot of you are like, oh, but listen, look, she started in country, went into pop, does different things. She's got all kinds of styles. I want to see a director who's got versatility, and with Zack Snyder, I don't see it. I see a heavy CGI, over-directed director, right? It's just there's too much. It's an orgy of stuff on the screen. But here's the thing, though, Jeffrey. Even though the visuals are great, right? I mean, they look good at times. I think some of the special effects in this movie are not fantastic. I think Netflix does not do that well. Look at their films across the board. They're not strong at that. They're not a Disney, even though we've seen that certainly fall the standard. You're not looking at the level at Netflix for these effects that you are a Warner Brothers. Even if I think it's fair to say we all know across the industry it's dropped, right? It's dropped almost everywhere because of the fact they're cranking out so much. And of course, when you crank out more content, then each thing's going to be a little bit more watered down. You don't have time to spend on these things. And yes, she is the queen. I like Taylor Swift. I don't know how people don't. I really don't. I think her music's extremely catchy. I think she's talented, and she certainly puts on a great show. That concert movie was amazing. It was really good. Okay, couple comments. We're gonna go. I've done enough Zack Snyder trashing tonight. Sorry, everybody. I know. I can't continue, but I am going to continue with Netflix because now it's time for movie number 2. I finally got around to May, December, and again, I broke my Netflix ban to go watch Desert Moon. Oh my God, was that Styx's album? Rebel Moon, and now I said, let's just continue. It's like once you're on a diet and then you break, you're like, fine, I'll just eat another donut. Who gives a shit? That's where I was tonight. And I said, I'm going to get through May, December because I have several people have told me the movie's not good. And I said, fine, then I will definitely watch it because I'm going to trash Netflix tonight for making forgettable films. In this case, they bought it at Cannes. The first thing I want to say about this film is, had I had been at Cannes, and they showed this film and they said, by the way, we're opening up to bidding, I would look around the room, I would laugh, and I would walk out the door. I wouldn't buy this film maybe $1 million. That's it. No more than 2. Definitely not 11, which is what they paid for this. Okay, let's walk you through this film. This is based on the Mary Kay Letourneau, clearly, whatever Haynes wants to say. It's based on that whole she was a teacher, right? Or she just a regular woman? Whatever. She was either a teacher or and she banged a 7th grader. So Natalie Portman's playing an actress who's coming to play her in I have to assume a TV movie because the movie is outrageously laughable. Not because it's intentional. It's unintentionally hilarious. This movie is straight up bad, and the acting, some of the performances, Natalie Portman at times is good, at other times not good. Julianne Moore is like, what? She has a scene where she has to cry about her cakes not selling. Just trust me, if you haven't watched it, just And I go, what? This is what? I was here at home watching. I go, what? This is bad. And I like Julianne Moore. You go back and you look at a Gloria Bell. She's great in that film. A24 film from about 2, 3, 4 years ago now. Really, really strong. She's a great actress, but not here. She's over the top. And then you have this Charles Melton, who I guess was on Riverside. I've never seen the kid before. But he's like so serious and dark in this thing. And then you have Portman like playing some kind of caricature of an actress. And then you have Julianne Moore going, well, I kicked Denzel. I'm like, whoa. Everybody's like in another movie, okay? And then you have Todd Haynes. And this is a problem that we're going to get in. It's a big problem here. Todd Haynes might have a good movie or two. I'm not a big Carol fan, but let's just say, pick your favorite Todd Haynes movie. Fine, he has one. But, remember what I told you with Zack Snyder. Any director, when we get a new film from a director, we always start back at zero. We go back to zero. We don't say this is Todd Haynes, therefore it's already good, which is what everyone does now. Why? Why are we doing that? We're not doing that. I'm never going to do that. I don't care. Rose Glass, you guys know how much I love St. Maud. Love it. Adore it. Favorite movie of that year, 2021. But her next film with Kristen Stewart debuts here at Sundance in a few weeks. Is it weeks now? It is. And I'm not going to be at Sundance. I don't want to see, you guys know how I feel. Don't even start about, no, I'm not going to do it. But when I eventually watch this film, I'm going to start at zero again. I'm going to be like, yeah, I love St. Maud. I like Kristen Stewart a lot. Great and Spencer. Should have won Best Actress. But we're going to start at zero. Everyone else is like, this is Rose Glass. It's already good. Why do we do this shit? Who are these? Why are we doing this? And why are these critics so afraid to say this movie's bad? I don't care if it's Todd Haynes. Terrible. He's not the right director for this. This isn't a comedy. 100%. This is not a comedy. This is an unintentional comedy because everyone is laughable in this film because you have the screenplay. Oh my God, the screenplay is so bad. So there's a scene where Julianne Moore's kid from the prior marriage, before she banged the 7th grader, is singing in a band as Natalie Portman's interviewing the detective. I assume it's the detective. I mean, at this point, I was pretty much checked out. And they're in the restaurant, and the son is singing like some Jimmy Buffett song. And all of a sudden, he loses it, and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry for this song not being good. The tempo's terrible. It's because my band sucks. And he takes water, and he throws it at the drummer. He's like, this band sucks. And then he storms off the stage and comes over and sits down, Natalie Portman, and he grabs her drink. He has a drink. And he's looking at her, turns the chair around. He's like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, what? Who wrote this shit? And then I looked. It's a casting director turned writer. She's barely written anything before. This script's terrible. This is embarrassing. I can't believe they paid $11 million for this movie. This is not an awards film, not in any stretch. Charles Melton at the end when he's crying is like, this is bad. You guys are terrible at this. There's so many bad reviewers out there. I think I'm going to have to stop doing this because I can't handle it anymore. I can't listen to these people be so fucking wrong. They're just like, their brains are in a different universe. If they're even operating with their brain when they do these things, this is a bad film. This is a complete and utter misfire, and I can't believe they bought this. The only reason they bought this film is that it was Todd Haynes. That's it. It's the only reason. It's the only reason. Because that's what we do now, right? We now buy things and cherish things that, well, I sort of censored myself. I don't know. Yeah, the monologue's good. I agree with that. Giacomo, it's good. But the rest, that's the only moment. It's so funny you say, she's looking at the camera, right? That is good. She cries. That's it. One thing. But that doesn't make a good movie. The rest is really bad. Giacomo, 100%. Giacomo. 100%. It's not good. Yeah, everybody does that. Why do people do that? I would love for a Zack Snyder associate producer to say, Rebel Moon's underwhelming. Could any of them? Can you show me if anybody does that? Will you send me the tweet? Because it's a cult. You can't go against the cult. And I'm not going to be part of a cult. It's very clear on this show that I don't want any part of a cult. And as such, I'm going to hammer what I want to hammer and then say what's good, because it's based on merit. Everything's merit. We're not going to start giving points for a director who's had good films in the past. That does not matter. Everything is back to zero. We always level it back to zero. Balance it. Yes, I've told you before I'm a Libra. That makes sense, right? If I'm a Libra, scales balance. It's No, the hot dog scene was Joe. That's a great question because that's maybe the only joke in the whole thing. We're out of hot dogs, but it's bad. It's not like funny. It's intentionally bad comedy. I don't know if it's a cult of personality. No, it's not. It's not funny. It's not funny. The film's bad. It's not a funny film. It's a terrible film. Here's what I would do. Bodie, and I'm glad Bodie's back. Bodie always just like pushes, and I go, let's go. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take May, December. I'm going to retitle it. Terrible title. I'm going to fire the screenwriter. I'm going to get a different director. I'm going to keep Portman where she is. I'm going to keep Julianne Moore where she is. And I'm going to keep Melton. I'll keep all three. They're all in. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to get a new director. We're going to ground this thing, and we're going to rewrite it. We're going to make it interesting, edgy, and dark as hell. That's a good film. Why am I here doing this at a YouTube on a Sunday night? Why am I here versus at Netflix, Scott Stuber, just make the movie, everything. Just, it's great. Make it. This is a fantastic script. Make it. I just gave you a better May, December. Retitle it. Robbing the Cradle. That's what it's titled. Don't even debate me. It is called Robbing the Cradle. It is directed by fresh off the Iron Claw, Sean Durkin. And we're going to keep everybody in their roles, and we're going to rewrite it. I want a whole nother thing. No former casting directors are allowed to write. Oh, now the casting directors are coming after me. We have to get a writer who has really good scripts before, because they will give us another very grounded. In fact, I'm going to go to Todd Field. There we go. Forget it. I'm going to push Durkin aside because Todd Field suddenly arrives and says, I want to make this movie, and I'm going to write the script. Real quick, everybody. Which is a better film? This film with Todd Haynes and the casting director script, or Todd Field written and directed the same idea with the same characters, only written by Todd Field? Damn right. I'm right again. Give me a like. That's all I do is take W's. The W in Weber stands for W's. Wins. All right, let's continue along. I've just savaged all kinds of things tonight. It's really fun. I don't want to hate these movies. I just want to be honest about Carol is better than May, December, but I don't like Carol. So that I got to be honest. I'm not a huge Todd Haynes fan. Okay, but it doesn't matter because when I started May, December, I'm like, it's the wrong director. I want to see this redone. I want to see this redone with Todd Field. Is that too much to ask? Exactly. They used the wrong Todd. Goober, you're ahead of me. You are ahead of me. All right, let's continue along. By the way, anything you want to talk about, I'm good. You got to come in with Super Chat. I need a producer. It's me sitting here pushing the buttons. It's not easy. Okay, everybody. Let's go to, where am I going next? Let me see. Oh, real quickly, if you missed the box office show, it's there for you. We can talk about that, but on the show tonight, I really like to talk about more big picture things, and because we already did the breaking box office show. I mean, Wonka opened with 39 million stateside, already at 150 million worldwide. That's solid. It's going to be doing very well over the Christmas corridor. By the way, tonight's Kit Kashima Antlers. Let me show you something. This is, guys know I have my gigantic football shirt / soccer jersey collection. Check this out. So this I ordered from Japan. Can you guys see this? I ordered this from Japan just last week. It was like on Monday. There it is. It's headed. Where's that jersey coming? To Burbank. Look, and look, everybody. Look what jersey I have on. It's this. That's how you do it. Direct from Japan. It came in like 3 days. I'm like, wow, this place is amazing. If you want to purchase from them, it's Japan Soccer Store, I believe is the name of the site. But these jerseys are amazing. It costs a little bit. These aren't cheap. But I'll tell you what, I love my Kashima Antlers. One day I'm going to Tokyo and all of Japan, and I will go watch a Kashima Antlers game. That's on my bucket list. It's got to happen. But yes, it's a major problem I have. I have too many jerseys. Okay. And we'll go to comments in a moment. I'll have an open comment at the end of this because we're already 33 minutes in. We're halfway through the show. I'll go open comments for like the last 15. I'm totally down with that. I do want to get to, you guys ready for this? It is the WAC Film Review Spotlight. And you guys, everyone come in and take a guess. Who's our recipient this week of the WAC Film Review Spotlight? Who have I repeatedly said I like as a human being? He's one of the nicest guys you'll ever come across. But as a film evaluator, he is typically dead wrong. Like, couldn't be more on the side of incorrect more often. Who am I talking about, everybody? Come in. Anyone who gets it, you take Gone Girl. No, it's not Alan. That's a great guess. Gone Girl was like, I got it right. It's not Gore. Gore's always wrong. Gore's not. Thank you. There we go, by the way. But Gone Girl had it first. Campy is terrible too, Freddie. No. Okay, listen. We'll do awards in a minute, but here's what I want to do. You guys ready for Scott Mendelson? Oh my good God, everybody. You guys, you need to batten down the hatches for this. We're about ready to get one of the craziest takes ever in the history of film takes. Here it comes. This is Scott Mendelson on Poor Things. Poor Things is spectacular. Right off the bat, he's going down the entirely wrong road with this film. It is an absolute disaster of a film. It's a visual delight. I would not say anything in this film is delightful. Filled with devilish performance. Devilish, the film is very devilish. Yes, true. From a game cast, it's probably the funniest movie of the year, give or take Joyride. Joyride, much funnier, much more entertaining than this film. Assuming audiences can handle the on-screen sexual content, this is where we lose our minds, everybody. You guys ready for this? I almost fell over in my chair when literally, no joke, almost fell. Oh my God, what does that say? Everybody, can you see that? It's a genuinely mainstream crowd pleaser. What? Mainstream? Poor Things is mainstream? I don't think there's any film in the past decade, maybe ever, that's less mainstream. Maybe a snuff film. Snuff film may be less mainstream than this. That's it. But this is not a mainstream film. John coming in. But yet, let's remember this, though, John. Campia has 100 times the audience. Maybe it's 1,000. So we're talking that, I lose. That's the problem I have. Anytime I go up against a Grace Randolph or a Campia or any of these people, Nerdrotic, even Gore at this point, I am losing by thousands of viewers and 100,000 times the subscribers. But at least I'm honest, right? I'm not gonna. It is, but I love you guys. You guys are awesome, and I know the Zack Snyder people are gonna come after me, but that's so what. I don't care at this point. I'm done with all this. It is delusional, Johnny. It's totally delusional to call this a crowd pleaser. It's nuts. It's crazy. It's the last word you'd ever use for this film. It's the last. Woke craziness. Which one? Who? Which one? Who's lost it? Is it for Gore? Well, Gore and Allen are clearly going down the anti-woke path. I mean, it's too much. It's like I'm down for like anti-woke if it's deserving. But like, great example. Let's go back and let's talk about Desert. I keep saying Desert Moon. My God, I keep thinking Styx's album, which no one remembers. Why am I doing this? Rebel Moon. That's how forgettable the film is. I can't remember the title. Here's the. Oh my God. No, I said I said Poor Things. I did not say that, Kusma. I said that Poor Things is more mainstream than a snuff film. That's it. That's the only thing. Yeah, I can't be bought. They know that. They're like, this guy. But no, but here's the thing. So let's go back to the woke. Let's talk about Rebel Moon. Finally got the title right. That's a start for I completely forgot the film 24 hours later. They're assembling the rebels, and it's a diverse cast. Like, okay, we've got one white guy, Charlie Hunnam. Take a guess what he ends up being. Nope, sorry, Weber's not going to do that. Then you've got one of every ethnic background. Hey, we need one of these. We need one of these. And then there it is. Like, Zach, why are you doing this, man? Why are you doing this stuff? Why are you placating that crap? Just write your movie. Why does it have to be like this? I'm not saying it can't be like that. The problem is, and this is why I don't do all these woke things, but you notice it when it's forced. When it's forced inclusion, you go, oh, there it is. And that's exactly what happens during Rebel Moon. But that doesn't mean I'm going to do a whole stream talking about woke shit all day. I don't have time for that. Well, I do, but I'm not going to do that. Oh, Campia? Is he doing woke stuff or anti-woke? I don't know what he's doing. John, I don't watch. I remember Gore telling me he's not good, so I said, forget it. Oh, okay. That's a great question, Omega Swiper. It's fair, because the Zack Snyder fans are going to come in hard and furious here soon. I told you what I would do with Rebel Moon. I would never make the film. This film would never be made. I would never greenlight this film. I would tell Zack Snyder what all the other studios told him clearly when they hand the script to him. No, we're passing on this. 125, and you want 2 movies? So it's $250 million roughly for the budget, which is about right, and maybe he wants a little bit more. Whatever. Let's just say 250 for 2 films. I mean, there's no chance. There's a. Let me explain. A 0% chance that I say we're making this deal. 0. In fact, as soon as he gets done with the pitch, I'm like, no, we're passing. It's not even like I'm going to think about it and call you later. We're going to pass on this and bring us something else. Zach, do something different. As you're leaving the room, Zach, and I'm the only guy who can say this to Zach because I hit the weights as hard as him. You guys know that. Don't go there. Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it, Zack Snyder fans. I would say do something different. Zach, freshen up your game. Your game's stale. Give me something new. Come back. He might have been. You know what? Just because I know I have some Zack Snyder fans out there that are going to go Weber and this and that's it. I'm sorry, guys. This will be very fast. It's only to establish the fact that I can hang with that guy. You guys ready? Okay, here. It's going to be fast. It's going to be really quick. Really quick, everybody. You guys ready? Really quick. Everyone hold tight. Hold up. Let me make it just real quick. Okay, hold up. Stop. This is for my Zack Snyder fans who are like, this guy's full of crap. Well, that might be true. This is a 42-inch box jump from a 0 position. One more time. Let me pull it back. So all the Zack Snyder fans, I bring the shit. Wham! 42 straight up from a 0. That's not even a step. That is a 0. Watch again one more time. That's a 0 jump. That's right there. Quick hop, a minor hop. Okay, and then I'll come down and roll it in. Here's the deal. I can hang with Zack Snyder. He might be stronger, but he's not more athletic than me. So it's a draw. Like, I'm faster, so if we're in the ring together, he's going to be stronger. But I'm going to look good, but I'm not going to like punch as hard, and then I'm going to move fast. He's not going to be able to catch me. Oh my God. Leave me alone. So what? They're strong. Leave me alone. I try, Gonga. Why you got to say I have chicken legs? Not cool. They're not big. I can't control that. I try. That's my workout. What do you want me to do? This is me shirtless. What else you want from me? What do you guys want from me? That's it. I told you guys I wouldn't do this over and over. That's just, I can hang with him. All right, let's get back. John, I could, we might do our own. That's a great question. Nobody else, because no one else can hang with me. That's why the Zack Snyder fans, all these people get even more angry because listen, let's just be honest with each other. As soon as a Zack Snyder fan reads my stuff or tonight I'm hammering them for this and that, they're going to go to a bunch of different things, right? They're going to go to the cards. What's the card I can pull? Old man, right? Boom. What can I pull? Fat, bald. What else can I pull? I just pulled those 3, right? Those are the 3. Then next, I guess, would be dumb, which is just pointless. But okay, so they always going to go old man, fat, bald. Well, not bald. Okay, the hair is receding a little, but not bald. 2, not necessarily young, but 3, in great shape. They go, crap. We got to go somewhere else. This guy looks like a dime store Tony Stark. I told you guys why I have the goatee. I have the goatee because I wanted to look like Johnny Depp, so don't tell me I want to look like Tony Stark. It backfired. I wanted to look like Johnny Depp many years ago, and then it turned into... I didn't ask for this. I wasn't... When God made me look how I do, I didn't say when I was born, I want to look like Robert Downey Jr. No one asked for that. I can't help it. Your genes are your genes. My legs are skinny because I try, but they're not going to grow, Gone Girl. If you say it again, I'm blocking you and you're never coming back. So, but you see my point. They're going to go to the typical cards they can always throw. These people love to, and that's why Film Twitter loses their shit over me so often, because they try to throw a card that they're used to throwing and winning. Here's the throw card. Boom, old, fat, bald, and they go, fuck! I don't have the card. Damn it. What card? Let's look at the deck.
What card do I don't have any? We don't have a card. Okay, let's put Jim Bro card, and then also dumb. You're dumb and stupid and don't know anything, and you're a Jim Bro. There we go. And so now they're playing with like their 50th card versus the top three. The top three cards I've taken out of the deck because they don't have it. They can't use it. That's why I love egging them. Boom, 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 boom. Fine, whatever. A little Vincent Price. So what? Is what it is. It is what it is. I can't control how I look. Well, I mean, obviously the gym can change a few things, but facially, unless I had, facial surgery, I've had no skin tightening. I probably should at some point. You know what I mean? Where they do. There's a guy at my gym, I've told you this, where he's an older dude. And have you ever seen, we talked about this before on the stream, where someone has their face peeled back, like the what do you call it? Like the what's it called, facelift, and they're like this, and you're like, the guy's like this at the gym, and I'm like, dude, you'd be better if you just would have never done that. If you just would have, or maybe just bring it back to here. Let's not pull it all the way back like this, because then you start to look like Jeepers Creepers. I want you more like this town's addicted to cosmetic surgery. Whatever. If it makes you feel better, let it go. I don't know what I'm on about. Just let me do what I'm doing, Schlacker. Why do you have to come in here and do that? All right, it's open comment time. I don't think I have anything else here tonight. We only have 15 minutes. I told you I'd give you 15 minutes of wide open stuff. Let's do real quickly. This is the box office minute. You guys ready? Here we go. Wonka debuted, 39 million stateside, 150 plus million worldwide already. Positioned very strongly for the Christmas corridor coming up next weekend as we get Migration. We also get Aquaman 2, and we get that rom-com with Glenn Powell and Sydney. Sydney. The one who has the sick body. Whoa, Creepy Weber. Like you guys aren't thinking the same thing. Give me a break. Sydney Sweeney. That one. And then so they're all going to be doing well. It's Christmas corridor, 150 million plus worldwide. Let's go to Poor Things Expanding. It did 82 screens this time around versus 4 last week, and it's up to 15,000 per. It's going to go down when that film goes wide. Just watch. It's going down hard. Poor Things is not for the average person. And American Fiction debuted on 7 screens, 200 plus thousand. Good start for that film. And a film that I have my issues with. You guys remember I had the stream. We talked about it. I wish it were only about him as the author who's the fraud, who's, portraying this character that he's not. That's a good film. The rest of it's just not so great. And so there you go. There's your box office. That's all we need. I mean, really, right? We don't have some kind of big autopsy to talk about here tonight. Okay, I'm wide open to whatever you want to go. Actors who look better bald than with hair. Bruce Willis, for sure. What's interesting? I'd love to see what Jason Statham looks like with hair. If anyone could, maybe, hold on, let me just Google that. But when you look at, Statham, obviously we're used to him as bald. We talked about this before. There's a number of stars in Hollywood that have had hair transplants. You look at, I think Clooney did. I know that Matthew McConaughey did, not a question. So did what's his ass from Magic Mike. Oh my God, how bad is Magic Mike's Last Dance? So terrible. Yeah, him. What's his ass? He totally had a hair transplant because you can see it receding, right? We all know every guy starts to lose their hair through the side. His was really going back, and then all of a sudden, here's what always happens whenever there's a hair transplant. Not that I've studied the ins and outs of it. Literally the ins and the outs. But they shave you want your head short. Hair short so they can go in. What they do, from what I know, I've never done it. I would tell you if I had, because who cares if you did. But they pull it from the back, right? We all have hair back here, and they pull it out of here, and they stick it in the spots where you're missing it, and then I guess it actually, the follicle becomes part of it, and it starts to grow again. So thank you. Yeah, a weave, right? Well, or it's a transplant. It's definitely not a hair. It's definitely he had hair. Joel McHale, Will Arnett, Bradley Cooper, not a question. Not a question. I don't know about Cranston. I never noticed. Giamatti's losing his hair, but he might have had a few put in. And listen, I get it, because here's the reality: is if you're an actor, you don't want, if you're like Billy Zane, great example. Billy Zane all of a sudden stopped working when he went bald, right? Because he didn't look good bald. And Billy Zane was in Titanic. Billy Zane was in movies, and all of a sudden Zorro, right? Wasn't he in Zorro? Shit, was he in one of the Zorros? Whatever. I'm thinking just Zane. Okay. But he was in movies, and then all of a sudden what happened? He lost his hair and he wasn't in movies anymore. So you have to have hair in Hollywood unless you're Bruce Willis and you've established yourself. If you start to lose your hair and you've already established yourself, they'll figure it out, right? But if you haven't, you're like, oh shit, my hair. Jeremy Piven, not a question about it. Not a question at all about him having that. Mark Strong, yes. I mean, he looks good bald, right? I love his voice too. Mark Strong. Mark Strong. I can't even go deep enough for him. Mark Strong. Whenever he's there, hey everybody, I'm gonna tell you something. My name's Mark Strong. I feel like I had something else in here to talk about, but maybe I didn't. I'm running out of things to talk about. You guys have to feel free in the comments, by the way, as we have about 10 minutes left. Feel free in the comments to hit me with topics. If there's one thing I love to do is take what you guys use and then boom, hit it. Right where it's I can go there. You just have to give me the topic and I will instantly pivot to it. I'm not saying I'll not 100% of the time, but most of the time I will try to get there. I'm going all the way back in the comments, see if I missed anybody, any super chats. None of you guys super chat. You're lame, all of you. Just kidding. I don't care. Honestly, I'm not going to sit here like Gore and beg for things. Please like, subscribe, and send me super chats. I'm not going to do that shit. I'm going to do the show because I enjoy it, and that's all. It's not good. John, great question. The score by Tom, is it Holkerson? How do you say his real name? Junkie XL. I would suggest forgettable is as kind as I can put it. I remember making that note, not a great score. It's not a score that elevates the film, but, it's very much like the rest of the film, forgettable, every bit of it. How can you be inspired watching Rebel Moon? If I was a composer and they're like, you need to write the score for this movie, and then I started to watch it, I'd be like, I don't know what to do here. I can't even, this is not doing anything for me. Your best inspiration, the best dreams that I have is when I come out of a movie I love, and I can talk about it for hours. Like, go back and watch the Tar stream when I came out of that. Or a movie I hate. But traditionally, more a movie I love. And I think that you are inspired, obviously, in that case. And I think when you're watching Rebel Moon, and he's watching the dailies, and he's putting the film together, and he's like, come up with the score for this. I'd be like, oh, shit. What is something that inspires me? Nothing. No, this movie doesn't inspire me, so you get a score that's totally... I would agree with that too, Goober, 100%. I've never been impressed with the Junkie XL score. I think that... listen, I go back to Junkie XL on... What was the label he was on out of England? I had the 12-inch singles by him way back when he was coming out, early 2000s. Late 90s, early 2000s, he was on a label. What was that label? Major 12-inch label out of England. I used to be a DJ. I told you guys that, right? A rave DJ Whipslinger. So I still have some. I have a ton of 12-inch singles, and I used to listen to Junkie XL. But I'll tell you, I don't even think I like Junkie XL songs. I liked the remixes by other artists of Junkie XL work. There was one remix by it's been 20 years, but there was a remix by a band that was like kind of more under the radar that they did of a Junkie XL song, and it was way better than the original. So Johnny, thank you for the super chat. You and Gore do agree on one thing. Then Nicole came in. Oh, good. Well, he copied me. He did. John, he did. I've been saying that thing needs to be edited down out loud to the audiences for like over 6 months now. In fact, usually when it starts, I'm now at the point where I shout. It's the Nicole Kidman ad. I can do whatever. No one cares. I shout out, edit, give us the edit, when you realize it's not the edited version. There is an edited version, but for whatever reason, they started it, then they bring it back the extended, then they go to the edit, then they go to extended. Why? AMC, stop. What are you doing? Like, you guys, I know there's a lot of AMC people who watch the stream, and you guys are big Adam Aaron. Don't be an Adam Aaron cult person. That man makes mistakes, a lot of them. And number one is to still be running that thing. Don't run the 45 or whatever the length is. It feels like it's an hour at this point. Run a 10-second spot. She goes, why are we here at the movies? She's there. She's in her seat. Boom, boom. The edit was like 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Why are you running the long version? Like, I feel like, listen, and whenever you talk to, and I know this is going to make a lot of you angry about Adam Aaron because you're like cultists. Don't be like that. Adam Aaron's like 1,000 years old. And when that man talks, he does the intros for some of those early screenings. I'm like, dude, he's not an impressive speaker. Not at all. Sorry, he's just not. I mean, he comes off as an old rich dude. I don't like my guys old and rich like the villain in the movies you always find, right? Especially a white guy. I want to see a young whippersnapper who, well, I'm not young, me younger, and get up there and be. He's reading from a teleprompter. He's like, thank you for coming to AMC. We're really excited that you joined us tonight for this exclusive early preview of this thing. And he keeps talking. I'm like, dude, just be like this. Look right at the camera like I'm doing right now. No teleprompter, and go, hey guys, welcome here to AMC. I'm so excited to have you here. We have an advanced screening of this film that I've heard is amazing. It is XYZ, whatever it is. And I'm looking forward to you guys seeing it first. Remember, A-list, the number one thing for all of you. You have to have it. $25. What can you get in life for $25 that you can get this much joy out of? Let me help you with that. Nothing. Enjoy the movie. Boom. Why can I do this shit? And these old dudes are reading a teleprompter. Grace Randolph reading a teleprompter. I'm just on here going, bah, 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 bah. Why? Why are these people not good? And I don't care if he's the CEO. Half these CEOs, thank you. Half these CEOs have like jumped from company to company. They don't even know anything about the company. Oh, he was the CEO of Lifestyle Entertainment. And you're like, okay, but is that theatrical? No, but it's tangential to entertainment. So that's what they do. A lot of these CEOs just jump around from company to company. And I swear to God, I know this is going to, people always like get uppity when I say this. I think no CEO should make is like $20-30 million a year. The only reason you should be making that much money if you made the company. If you are the person responsible for the company succeeding, not what has he done? What did honest to God, what did Adam Aaron do that I couldn't have figured out? First of all, who was the number one voice about theatrical kicking ass? Me. Who said keep going to theaters? Me. Who was going when they told you don't go, you're going to kill everybody? Me. Why am I not the CEO of AMC? I don't have the business acumen, but do I get in front? I would get in front of people and go nuts. Theatrical till the death, and they'd be like, holy shit. During COVID to say that's crazy. But it's true. We always must support theatrical, and that's the thing. At the end of the day, we have 5 minutes here. I'm telling you, if there's one thing you get out of this channel that anyone can say, no question, this dude is authentic. The rest of them, all putting on an act, a woke act, an anti-woke act. It's all part of some kind of like facade. There's no facade here. I don't have time for it. Zero time for a facade. Well, I have time. I just don't want to do it. I'm going to see Aquaman 2 on Thursday. We'll have a stream on Thursday for Aquaman 2. Warner Brothers did not invite me to the early press screening, probably on Tuesday or Wednesday. They don't invite me anymore. And yeah, at this point, I told you guys, I don't care. I'm not going to even think about kowtowing to any of the studios ever again. Universal's very cool. Universal has always been cool. They don't care if you trash a film. They are good like that. They're the most accessible studio by far. And so there probably will be some Universal movies in the future, but Warner Brothers is just very difficult to work with. They have this, it's strange. I don't want to beg. I'm not going to beg. At this point, if you're not going to send me an invite, I don't care. I don't care. You know, maybe I like Aquaman 2, maybe I don't, but at this point, they're not going to bother, and I don't care. I'm not going to worry about it. It's not worth the trouble, right? Oh no, they didn't invite me. What am I going to do? I can see it Thursday with everybody else. Hugh Grant is great in Paddington. He's okay in Wonka. Wonka's just not a good movie, so I don't doubt he probably saw Wonka and goes, "This isn't great." That's probably why he's trashed his performance. He doesn't want people to see it. He's like, "I just collected a paycheck," because he worked with Paul King in the past. He's the kind of guy that doesn't mince words. He just says, "This is what it is." I mean, listen, go back to Wonka again. Go back and watch the stream. I think I nailed it. Anyone who's watched Wonka, you cannot tell me that Timothée Chalamet is the guy to play Willy Wonka. It's not even a contest. It did not work. It was a total miscast, and the film suffers so immeasurably. It just destroys the film, because Timothée Chalamet, while I appreciate him as an actor, and I think he's good in roles, even Dune, he's fine. He's fine. I don't think he's exceptional. He's fine. And I've never seen a Timothée Chalamet performance where he blows me away outside of maybe A Beautiful Boy in spots because he's playing version of himself. When he is asked to play some kind of character, it doesn't work. Timothée Chalamet is, I'm sorry, and I know Simone's not going to like hearing this, I think he might be one of the most overrated actors that we've seen come through Hollywood in quite some time. In person, he's an amazingly fun, entertaining person, but when the camera turns on, he loses his ability to just go ahead and lose it. When I start this show, what do I do now? I don't even, you just go. You don't try to hold yourself back. If I was trying to do this show and restrain myself, this show would not be good. Go back and watch the early shows. I was doing more of that. I'm like, no. Boom, go. And you have to do, as an actor, I don't care what it is. He's got to walk in and go, we have chocolates to sell. I don't know. He's like this. Maybe up, maybe down. He needs to do it. He's got to he's just holding back. It's like someone who has the emergency brake on. Timothée Chalamet, take the emergency brake, take it off, and go. I think one day the studios are going to hire me to be on set to talk to actors. And the director is a wuss, right? They always are. They'll never go up and talk. Listen, the director come to me and say, Eric, we need you to go talk to Tim. That's fine. I got you. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? He's like, yeah, I'm seeing it. Okay. Could you go tell him, Tim, real quick, can we talk over just for a second? So, listen, I'm watching this, and first of all, I think you're doing a great job. I mean, everything, you look fantastic in the suit. You look like Willie. I mean, this is working. So can you just let it loose? Let it rip. You're at like an 8, 8.5. I actually want you to go to 10 because this is Wonka. I need you to crank up the zaniness. And even if it feels uncomfortable, I want you to go there and let's see what happens. Okay. And then if we need to, we can adjust. But I want to have you completely off the rails for this next take. Are you ready to do this? Let's just do it. Whatever you feel like, go for it. And do not hold even 0.1% back. I want you full on. Okay, awesome. Okay, go back over the director. He's ready. And then boom. That's it. We need to have people like myself who go and talk to these people and say, listen, this is what needs to happen. This is not working. And wrapping it back to the beginning of the topic here tonight about Netflix destroying Hollywood and back to Zack Snyder. Someone needed to tell Zack Snyder, this film is not getting made. You're going to waste $250 million on a film that is zero, has nothing new to say. It is an amalgamation of all these other films, and I can't even, with good conscience, I can't consider approving this. You need to take this to another studio. We are absolutely, just like Shark Tank, I'm out. That's what should have happened. Netflix has never once said, I'm out. And we're all suffering for it. I'll see you Thursday. Aquaman 2. Thanks for being here. MMT, peace out.